Domestic girlfriend, Oreimo, and now new kid on the block, Shiunji family children have one thing in common: underage incest. Now I know that this debate about underage children being sexualized in anime is as old as time. PlayStation or Xbox, Goku or Saitama. My dad shits smells worse than your dad shits. Since the beginning of time people have been split on these world-ending issues, but with this new anime season, some wounds have been reopened. Or in layman terms, shit hit the fan. I actually thought that we left this disturbing anime trope in 2019, although we had some celebrity reoccurrences. I thought that people have had enough of it, and that's why the buzz kind of faded away about this topic, but I was dead wrong assuming that. 2025 spring anime season outdid itself. They decided it was enough. They didn't put out one, they didn't put out two, they didn't put out three, they put out 4 anime, where main central point is actually just sexualizing children. No other way around it. And no, I don't mean it in a way where two consenting individuals want to have some intimate time that actually contributes to a story and we just happen to see it. No. I mean it in a most degenerate Rule 34 or god forbid r/fanfiction way. I'm gonna go over these 4 shows, I'm gonna tell you why I think they are garbage, unless you're a complete gunner brain. It's important for all of us to be on the same page. I will continue with the video and I'm gonna keep it in the mind up here and think just because it's a fiction, it doesn't mean that everything goes. Keep that in mind. And I will give you my reasoning later in the video. Now the 4 animes that I want to talk about are the Shiunji family children. Please put them on, Taramoko-san. Makina-san is a love robot. And Yandere Dark Elf, she chased me all the way from another world. I think that explains it. Now let me introduce you to Shiunji family children, or as I like to call it, the Didi family children, since this is the one that I have the most problems with and it will be the largest part of the video. Shiunji family is comprised of 7 siblings, the oldest one being Banri. You know, she's classic, reliable older sister of a family, everybody respects her opinion, everybody likes her, she's good at sports, she's good at academics, she's the president of a student council, she's, you know, all-rounder. Now Seiha is second oldest sibling, she is the cold, calculated, smart, intelligent type. Oka is the girly one, extroverted one, the pop idol one. And Minami, she is all about the sports, she won every fucking competition in Japanese tennis tournaments. She is future Olympian as they say, and she doesn't care about academic success at all. And we have Kotono, who is the youngest daughter of the family. She is at the start of the anime 14, but the next day she is 15. She's quiet, shy, you know, awkward girl, and she's still going through a puberty and she can't fully grasp her emotions and action. Now we have 2 brothers of the family, younger one being Shion. He is overall just a chill guy, you know. He doesn't have any strong opinions, he's just going with the flow. Only thing he likes is to play games, you know, just goofing around. And now we have the older brother of the family called Arata. He is 17 and he is that classic older brother type. He is reliable, he cares about everybody's emotions, about everybody's well-being. He wants to help anybody that he can, and in my opinion he is the only one in this series that has a little bit of common sense. Just a little bit. Now that you're somewhat familiar with the characters, I'm not gonna go into really any details that aren't specifically related to my critique. I'm not gonna waste neither yours or my time about unimportant stuff. Kotono has had a crush on her older brother Atara for a very long time, since she was a child. Because she is so insecure and shy, she actually didn't have a courage to ask anybody for any help when she needed some support, and actually the only one who reached out to her in times of need is Arata. And because she was so young, she mixed a couple of feelings and started feeling certain way about him. Fast forward a couple of years and Arata and Kotono are found in certain game room. Kotono actually confessed her feelings to Arata, that she actually likes him not as a sibling but in a romantic way, and Arata, having more than one functioning brain cell, told her, "Bro, you're my sibling, what the fuck are you talking about?" She jumps onto him to hug him, they fall, and I still don't know, until this very moment, I watched thousands of anime, I don't know how they always fall in this position. Now, as they are laying down, everybody just teleports in the same room, sees them laying down in that way. Now Arata, being actually good older brother, tells everyone that it was big misunderstanding, that he actually just fell on her and they accidentally fell on the floor that way. He doesn't want to tell everybody what actually happened because that would make Kotono's life miserable. You know, everybody know that Kotono actually likes her older brother and that would be kinda weird. And he wanted to protect her from that, and by doing that he actually made his life more miserable. The problem is that nobody trusts his story 100% and they still have a feeling that he actually tried to do something dirty with his sister. Now everybody looks at him differently. Every time that they have some kind of argument, they bring up the room incident. They tease him all the time and they just call him a pervert all the time. And that is actually one of the many parts that I actually despise about this anime. Like, it's just not enough to call him a pervert. Okay, that's fine, whatever, you can do that. But they don't stop there. They always need to bring up a point. You are a man surrounded by beautiful sisters. Of course, you're gonna get aroused sometimes. You are a man at the end of the day. Of course, you think with your dick and 90% of your thoughts are actually having sex with your sisters. Oh, you commented about my t-shirt. Why look at my boobs, you pervert? The whole damn time. They just can't stop. Like, imagine yourself saying, yo, this is a cute cat. And somebody says, oh, you like that cat? Oh, you wanna fuck cats? Fucking zoophile, fuck you. I don't know who is the weird one here. And I know it's common for anime characters to get accused of doing perverted stuff even though they didn't do nothing wrong. I get it, it's funny, but it just doesn't sit right with me when those perv comments are coming from your sister and everything that you do is made into perv joke. I don't know, it's just weird, or I just don't like incestual jokes, I guess. Now the big reveal comes. At the Kotono's 15th birthday dinner, their dad actually reveals the biggest secret. They are not actually siblings, they are adopted. Oh yes, I actually thought about how our mother had 6 children in a span of 3 years. I guess it's mathematically possible, but she would need to pump them out like a car factory, just one after another. I never thought about it actually. And yeah, I have 6 siblings and I never saw my mom pregnant. Now, of course, this is where this story takes a big turn. Arata wants to go to the bath to, just clear up his mind, think things through. And when he gets to the bath, there is Kotono taking a bath herself. And you know how in anime, when man and woman see each other in the bathroom, they get embarrassed. That actually happens here too, but Arata tries to tank it, go with the flow. He is trying to ration it in his head. Even though we are not blood-related siblings, we used to shower all the time. This is nothing weird. Don't make this stuff weirder than it is. And I think I shouldn't even have to explain myself, but I think that it's really inappropriate for 15-year-old sister and 17-year-old brother to take a bath together. But I wanted to say that anyways. And he's still in that mindset, we're just siblings, nothing weird is happening. And Kotono is actually completely opposite. Now that they are not blood related, she goes full on demon mode. She even googled beforehand if it's legal for non-blood related siblings to get together and all of that funky stuff. Then again, she jumps on him, confesses to him again, but now with much more confidence, because now she knows that they are actually not blood related. And I think she actually thought that Arata was gonna accept her confession right now, because she thought that the only thing that was stopping him from getting with her is actually their blood relation. And Arata, again, being the Chad he is, even though he did it in such a weird way, he still rejected her. And this is the part where my blood just started boiling. In this whole bath scene, Kotono was fully naked. I don't know, they just had to make this whole scene so inappropriate. They could just do the usual, brrr. No, they just had to sexualize her as much as possible. With every shot, they were trying to get her even more and more seem erotic. And there is an even full-on POV boob shot of a 14-year-old girl when she goes to hug him from behind and the camera literally looking down on her boobs. I literally couldn't believe what was I seeing. Of course, I'm not showing you any of these scenes for a reason, even though I had to show one in a thumbnail just for you to get a picture and for clicks, come on. Now, completely baffled from what just happened, Arata goes back to his room, but in his room, there is his other sister, Seiha. She actually overheard everything that happened in the baths. And you know how I told you that they accuse him of everything and how kinda it's distasteful? She literally dry humps him full on, again, Pornhub POV up down scenes, because she wants to see if he will get a boner. And if he gets a boner from his sister dry humping him, that would also mean that he got aroused when Kotono was actually hugging him in the beds. Seiha herself wanted to see if Arata's emotions actually changed towards Kotono, because now they are no longer blood related. And I mean, that is kind of a valid question, just kinda. But all of that dry humping, all of it, just not one bit was necessary. Now I want to make myself clear again, even though I shouldn't have to. When I'm talking about this problematic stuff, I'm not criticizing the characters' actions themselves. Of course, anybody with a half-functioning brain would know what they are doing is fucked up. I am specifically talking about the creator of manga having this idea, him thinking it was good enough to draw it down, the publishing company actually thinking it was good to publish it, the anime studio actually thinking it was good to publish it, and the people enjoying it actually thinking it was good enough to enjoy it. I hope you get my point. It's kind of a more of an external view on things. Now let's summarize my opinion on Shunji family children. I don't like the fact that they are sexualizing siblings and that they are dancing with the idea, oh, is it incest if it's not blood related? I don't like the fact that sexualized siblings are actually underage. And I don't like the fact that pervert jokes are overused to a point of being just weird and creepy. Now it's really important for you to continue watching, because the stuff that is wrong with these next 3 anime is actually not similar to the first one. There are much more interesting points that I want to talk about. But first, let me explain you the premise of the next show, which is gonna be much quicker than this. And that being, please put them on Takamine-san. Takane Takamine. And I'm still not sure if she's the first or second or third year in high school, but let's assume she's 16 years old. Keep that in mind. She is literally perfect in every way possible. She gets 100 out of 100 points in every test she takes. She is always the first place in any sport discipline. She became president of a student council in the first year of her school. She's the prettiest, she's the smartest, everything. One day some random goon Shirota decided to eat his lunch in a school closet and actually saw Takamine changing. He knows that he shouldn't be peeking, but his inner demons took over and he actually saw her naked boobs. Now fast forward to their class. They're getting their math results back. Shirota is ecstatic. He got a 50 out of 100. But when it was Takamine's turn, everybody expected her to get 100 out of 100, but she got only 98. I know, depressing. All of a sudden she starts taking down her panties. And yeah, don't worry, animators really made sure that we saw every bit of it. Every bit of 16-year-old's ass. Now Shirota here, he can't believe his eyes. What the fuck is going on? Why is she doing that? Then, all of a sudden, everything got rewinded 5 minutes. Shirota gets confused, like, where is my test paper? Then he hears Shirota come, he gets 50 points. Then he's like, what the fuck is going on? Then it's Takamine's turn, and he actually knows that she will get 98, but actually she gets 100. He's again like, what the fuck is going on here? Now his noodle starts moving and he actually thinks something is fishy here. He decided to confront Takamine later when they were alone and ask her about this 98% point stuff. And it turns out that Takamine has a special power. When she takes off one of her underwear pieces, time just gets rewinded. And that pair of her underwear disappears into thin air. The reason it didn't work on Shirota though is because he is actually only one who saw her naked boobies. That being in a school closet, remember? For some reason, Takamine proposes to Shirota that he should become her personal underwear carrier. Because she needs to continue using the power many times a day, because she wants to stay perfect, and in order to do that, she needs to carry a big luggage full of underwear. And she thinks that it would be inconvenient for her to do that, and she needs help. Shirota refuses, of course, but then Takamine actually makes him grab her boob. She starts crying, she starts yelling, she's calling the police, everybody comes. Police putting on the handcuffs on Shirota, and she's just looking at him, you know, just say the word. If you become my personal closet, I'm gonna make all of this shit go away. Basically, she falsely accuses him of rape to become her slave. Of course, he had no choice but to accept it. Now, there is this scene where Takamine is actually reading something, but she is not content with it, and she wants to do it again. Obviously, she takes down her panties, they freak out and everything, and just after that, the power comes through and she rewinds the time. Now, she doesn't have her panties on in the class, and she wants Shirota to replace them immediately in the middle of the class. And again, we get to see full-on POV of how is he putting her panties right up her vagina, you know, like this. She's making some weird noises, she shakes, she moans and everything. Come on, what are we doing here? The both anime that I talked about right now are actually only 2 episodes in, that's why I talked so little about them. But I know when more content comes around, I'm gonna be even more right about it. Now this Takamine anime is a little bit more redeemable than the last one, just a little bit. At least they're not siblings, and at least they look a little bit older, and they are actually a little bit older. This doesn't change the fact that they are still clearly and obviously underage. And that the whole point, the whole premise of the show is her being underage high school girl who is a virgin. I literally cannot imagine how this wouldn't work in any other scenario. Just imagine you simply remove high school and add uni. You just remove high school uniform with a uni uniform. And I think it would even make more sense because you're still virgin at a uni. Like, damn bro, let me give you this power so you'll feel better about yourself. Why did it need to be in a high school setting? The reason why I'm actually nailing this point home is actually because this anime is R+, meaning that is targeted for audience that are 18+. Yes, the target audience are adults. And I just know some people were waiting to say, it's in high school because it's made for high school boys. It's actually for younger audience, that's why they're so young. It's for younger audience because they want them to relate more. Just kill me, bro. Now let's put 2 and 2 together. This show was made specifically for an adult audience to see a 16-year-old stripping her panties. Now imagine anime that is about a sexy 16-year-old girl is made for a 50-year-old guy. Just sit on that for a moment. You feeling weird? You should. Now, the last 2 shows I'm gonna group together because it's the same argument that I use for Takamine-san. First one being Yandere Dark Elf, she chased me all the way from another world. And I have my title that is actually more accurate. Yandere Elf is casually raping high school boy. This again is also rated R+, which is meaning it's for only adult audience. But in that aspect, it's actually worse than Takamine one. Because in this anime, the boy is clearly a child and the elf is a clearly full-on grown woman. Again, the creators of the show wanted to serve a fully grown audience, a fully grown elf that is sexually abusing a minor. No, it was not made for boys. No, don't make that argument, it's R+. And the last abomination of an anime on today's list is Makina-san is a love bot. There is an android robot called Makina. She is a sex robot and her only job is to seduce her customers. Her actual love interest is a high school boy that I can't remember his name, but he is clearly again obviously a child. She continuously persists on them having sex and he refuses every time. And like in Yandere Elf anime, she forces herself onto him many times. Again, R-rated anime for adult audience, everybody clap, cheers. My bottom line is, if you are okay with underage people being constantly sexualized in anime, I think you wouldn't have a problem with ultra-realistic AI child. And it just doesn't sit well with me. Maybe because it's in anime format, you still can't really feel that that's actually a human being. But in a realistic AI situation where the portrayed underage person maybe looks like somebody you know, you would definitely start to feel some emotion. No way. And you might still say that there are no downsides to it. But be completely honest here. How much have you become desensitized when you see some person die on camera? I know I have, because we are constantly seeing on the internet, in the movies, on the news, everything. I think if this trend of constantly sexualizing underage people continues, we will get more desensitized to it. It will become more normalized until we are completely numb to it and we just won't care even if it happened in real life. I can't wait to see the comments. Thanks for watching, guys.